Hello, my name is Bill and welcome to MindYourCrypto. Today I will dive in quickly into the Vechain. Let's go guys to the technical analysis and make a price prediction. Right now we go to 0.094 as our support level that we might go there guys, unfortunately. But of course we need to test some other minor support first. First of all the 12 cents and of course the 10 to 11 cents. I'm not saying that we are going down surely to 0.09. I'm just saying that if we go down, if Bitcoin keeps continuing to have lower lows and lower highs, then we are going to 11 around there, this area guys of support level for Vechain. Let's see first if it can hold the 12 to 13 cents. Then we actually, if we can, then we are going down, eventually going to these support lines as well. So our major resistance lines for the very short term are the 15 and the 16 to 17 cents. That's what we want to break in order to see maybe Vechain going upwards, but I will discuss that furthermore in the price analysis. Right now, what we are seeing here guys is that we couldn't maintain having higher highs and higher lows. Eventually now we are having lower highs and lower lows for the MACD as well in the 4-hour frame. This is something I don't like guys, and of course we need to see to maintain at least this support level. In case we fall down furthermore, then I think we will go to lower support levels in the USDT frame as well. This is the MACD in the 4-hour frame. When the blue line is above the signal line guys, the orange line, we are having a buying situation, a bullish environment. But of course in the 4-hour frame we need to see higher highs and higher lows, but eventually we don't care if we see a bearish cross between the two lines, as long as we are seeing higher highs and higher lows. I will explain right now what I mean. I mean in this situation right now guys, where you can see we approached a little bit lower level here, but we were having higher highs as well. So right now that's what we want to see. Right now we are going down and down furthermore for Vechain due to Bitcoin's price action of course. Let's go to Vechain against USDT in the 4-hour frame. For the RSI and the commodity channel index, for the commodity channel index, we are having a buying opportunity. However, we might as well, because we are in a bearish environment, guys, we might as well go somewhere like this and then going down again. It happened, the same happened here, guys, with on 18th May where we approached this level, then we went down all the way for VET, having new lower lows as well. For the RSI, we don't have any oversold situation. However, we are approaching a very low point here. We aren't at on like 12 May like that guys, but we are approaching a low level. We are inside the 30 and the 70, inside this purple area, so we don't have a clear buying opportunity for Vechain, and I will explain the reason later. Right now we are going to the Bollinger Bands. You can see here that we are keep going to the bottom line of the Bollinger Bands. It is the opposite as the MAT. The MAT goes to the top line of the Bollinger Bands because it has a huge impulsive wave. The Vechain goes downwards because it has a bearish moment, a bearish situation. And as you can see in the daily frame, we are still below minus 100 guys for the commodity channel index. I am expecting someday to do something like this, but let's see when we will do it, because Bitcoin has a very bearish environment yet, and of course the RSI is still between 30 and 70, so we have more room to fall. Okay, we have more room to correct right now. The MACD on the daily frame is the MACD, the blue line, is beyond the signal line and it is going down and down. That means we are still in a bearish situation. What we want to see for Vechain is doing something like this. Okay, so now we will go soon to the Vechain against Bitcoin, one of the most important charts. First of all, we couldn't maintain our strong position where we could possibly see a cross between the 10-day and of course a major distance. We couldn't manage to do it. Right now, Vechain, sorry guys, against Bitcoin is collapsing. It is going down. You can see here 50-day EMA, the 20-day EMA is below the 50-day EMA line, and of course right now we are going downwards. Vechain is underperforming against Bitcoin for the very short term guys. However, what we want to see first of all is not to go lower than the 200 EMA, the blue line right here, and of course this should be our last support line. Okay, this should be our last support line because we need to hold this line. It is very critical, and I will explain the reason, because if we don't hold this line we might even go to 0.50307. That's where we might go guys, and of course we need to keep the support line as well in order not to see Vechain against Bitcoin crumbling furthermore, because on the midterm, if I go to the daily frame, we are still looking good. We just don't want to see this support line crumbling, because here we saw it going down so much, but we had such a huge buying pressure, and of course we closed above the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level, because I have drawn, guys, for the mid short term, I have drawn a Fibonacci retracement starting from this top to this bottom right here. Eventually we might see it going down all the way if we pass through beyond this level. But for Vechain against Bitcoin, we still look good, guys. In the midterm, we still look fine. We just want to see on the short term some movement against Bitcoin, because that's the most critical thing, guys. Now the thing is that altcoins need to have dominance against Bitcoin. It's like Aave, guys. It's like some other altcoins that have pretty huge dominance and they don't correct as much as Bitcoin does. And when Bitcoin goes up like 1000 USD, then they go up like 1500 USD as well. So let's see. First of all, I will check the Bitcoin against USD. Guys, I don't think you can do a proper technical analysis if you don't check the altcoin you are viewing against Bitcoin, and of course the Bitcoin against USD. Those that don't do that, I'm afraid that they are mistaken, and I'm afraid that they don't do a proper technical analysis. This is my opinion, though. I want to cover right now the Bitcoin, because we are in a very bearish moment, and right now I believe that we will keep seeing lower lows and lower highs for Bitcoin because of this bearish situation right here. We couldn't HODL the white line, the 200 EMA. This was very, very critical, guys. We went beyond, and of course we have formed on the daily frame this bearish cross between the 50-day EMA and the 20-day EMA, where the yellow line has gone beyond the red line. And as you can see, this has to happen from back on September, right there, around there, okay? And so on, we are seeing this bearish cross. And you can see the top trend line connecting the bottom started to getting more horizontal. I told you in my previous videos, guys, that due to the technical analysis, I could only see Bitcoin dropping. And I told you that we might see an upward situation because everyone was talking about 100k by the end of May. And I was thinking that maybe due to the high demand and the low supply that we have a push up in the price, but due to the technical analysis, I couldn't say that Bitcoin would go much upwards. You can find my Bitcoin video to tell you to see what exactly I was talking about. Right now we are seeing lower lows, lower highs. What does this mean for Vechain? This means, guys, that if we see lower lows, lower highs for Bitcoin, eventually we will keep going down to 13, 11 and 10 cents, maybe even further down if Bitcoin doesn't have a pump up soon, because Vechain, it is underperforming against Bitcoin in the 4-hour frame. However, on the daily frame, we are still fine. The 50-day EMA is below the 20-day EMA. If I remove, guys, all the drawings, you can see that we are still fine. The 50-day EMA is below the 20-day EMA for the midterm. However, we don't want to fall below this support line over here, because as we do that, guys, we will be falling down even more, because here we fell down but we had huge buying pressure. Therefore, we didn't close up to this moment. We closed up to 0.50397 was the price label we closed at, somewhere like this. So right now we don't want to see that going on. And of course for Bitcoin, we want to stay as we are. We don't want to crumble more further down, because in my opinion, guys, we might be approaching new lower lows for Bitcoin. For example, now we are testing this support level. We might go into this, or maybe even this support level, having lower lows and lower highs as well. So this means for Vechain, it will go downwards, except it can get very, very dominant against Bitcoin again, except that we might see Vechain going like this on its USDT, on its Bitcoin valuation, Vechain against Bitcoin valuation. But I am afraid that if Bitcoin still corrects like I suppose it will, then Vechain will go upwards, because on the 4-hour frame, guys, Bitcoin might go upwards like here, and okay, Vechain, you might see Vechain going upwards a bit, but it won't be able to make higher highs and higher lows. Eventually it will go crumble down to this moment. So if you even see a small amount of hope here, we need to see Bitcoin having higher lows and higher highs, because eventually for the commodity channel index we are below minus 100, so you might see a pump up, but this doesn't mean that we will be going upwards. We might as well crumble down, because you can see in a bearish market we are getting so low commodity channel index. And if I go to the RSI as well, you will see that what I'm talking about, the highest RSI was here 49, while when we have an impulsive wave, let's see when Vechain had an impulsive, okay, a good performance here. We had higher lows and higher highs for RSI. The lowest RSI was 48, while now the highest RSI in the 4-hour frame is 49. So that means, guys, that even if we go upwards, we will be making lower lows and lower highs if Bitcoin continues to go like this. So anyone who doesn't see Vechain against Bitcoin or any other altcoin against Bitcoin or Bitcoin against USD, I think they aren't doing a proper technical analysis, in my opinion, guys. I don't know what you guys think. Write in the comments down below what you think, but I always want to be honest with you guys. I don't want to play with your money around, and of course this is not a financial advice, but I believe that Bitcoin will correct a bit more, so Vechain will do. Even if that means we go upwards, retesting maybe this area of resistance level, but we will go downwards again afterwards, because Bitcoin on the daily frame, as you can see here, it is approaching the RSI. I think it is below the 30 level. So as long as the RSI is below the 30 level, we might see a pump up in its price. But if we don't go above these resistance areas, because you can see we are making lower highs as well for the RSI on the daily frame. If we stop here, for example, and then we go down again, this would mean a further correction for Bitcoin. What we need to do in order to see Bitcoin going upwards is breaking through some important resistance level, stop having lower lows and lower highs. Because right now, if we keep doing that, then Vechain won't be able to crumble back into its previous highs, and it will be correcting along with Bitcoin and many other altcoins that follow the trend, because they might not performing so well against Bitcoin. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day wherever you are, and of course, guys, stay tuned for many more videos. Bye.